I can say I had moments where I asked myself, should I just give up? This pressure is just too much. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's been a while since I filmed a video because I've been busy with exams. I finished my 400 level a couple of weeks ago, so I am now a 500 level medical student. In this video, I'm going to do a recap of what 400 level was like for me, my experiences, the challenges I faced, and I'm going to end this video with the lessons that I learned in 400 level. So without further ado, let's just jump into this video. So for those who are not very familiar with medical school takes about 6 years in total. So you have your pre-clinicals from 100 levels to 300 level and clinicals from 400 to 600 levels. So I had literally just finished pre-clinicals and then we started clinicals in 2024, January 2024. Coming into 400 level, I kind of knew that 400 level was going to be different from 300 level in the sense that we were going to start clinical rotations, clinical postings, but I did not expect it to be as challenging. I did not expect it to be so draining. I didn't know how different it was going to be. For 400 level, we started courses, which was pathology and pharmacology. So pathology consists of 4 other courses, which are hematology, microbiology, what's the courses again? Chemical pathology and morbid anatomy. So it's 4 courses in one, and then pharmacology, which is just one course on its own. The work in 400 level is like times 3 of what you're doing in 300 level, and I did not expect it to be that much. I did 400 level for 11 months. When we first came and we saw that we were doing 400 level for 11 months, I thought in my brain like, oh, 11 months will be done, we'll just run it like 300 level and we'll be fine. But that was not the case. We first started doing part and farm courses for the first 3 months. So our schedule was very chill. Everybody had told us like the first 3 months is the chill months. Once you start posting, that's when all hell breaks loose. So the first 3 months were very, very calm for us up until posting started. 100 level, we started doing medicine and surgery postings. So we did M0 and M1, we did S0 and S1. So during your postings, you kind of have lectures and then you go into the ward and then you see patients, then how to collect patients, then how to examine patients, then how to take history and all of that. That's kind of what the posting entails. This was like when the real stress in 400 level started. I thought that doing postings, we're going to do postings alone. So I thought we were going to do medicine and surgery alone and not part and farm, which was not true because we were doing each of them simultaneously. So in the morning, we would have medicine lectures or surgery lectures, then we'll go to the ward till in the afternoon. We would have just 1 hour break, and then from 2 to 5, we're back in class doing part and farm lectures. And this was happening Monday to Friday. All of this intense amount of work is coming at you back to back to back every single day. Now you have 2 different postings at the same time calling for your attention. And I'd also started my YouTube channel, like this YouTube channel, in 400 level. When part and farm first started, like I thought, you know what, it's chill, we can balance it all, we can do it all together. Until medicine and surgery posting started, then balancing YouTube and my academics started getting very, very hard. So editing takes a very, very long time. Like if you don't know about editing, like you see the video is like 10-15 minutes, but it can take up to 10 to 20 hours editing just one YouTube video. And then literally from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. I'm in class, I'm in the ward, I'm in class again, and then I come back, I'm tired. Apart from that, because we are doing postings, the postings don't end once you leave the hospital. So you have to go back to the hospital, go back and collect patients, go back and examine patients, report the next morning to your consultant, and the cycle goes on and on and on. These postings are not, it's not a situation of you're leaving your class at 10, you're going to the ward and you're sitting down. You're not going to the ward to sit down and hear your consultant talk. You are going to stand with your consultant, go wherever your consultant is going to, listen to your consultant talk, present to your consultant. The consultant will teach you whilst you are standing. So you can be standing for 3 to 4 hours straight, depending on the consultants you can have. Like these postings, you are kind of exerting yourself because you are in the case where you have to apply the medicine that you've learned in class. You are in the world and you're actually seeing these things live. This is the culture of postings, by the way. This is one of the reasons people tell you that medicine is a stressful course, really because of the culture that surrounds this course. Getting consistent with it became very hard because I really wanted to do a lot last year for you guys. When I first started, I was kind of consistent. I wanted to post more, but I just couldn't because during this period, because we're doing two postings at the same time, I started having a lot of tests, especially in pathology and pharmacology. Some of the tests would clash with when we would have end of posting exams. So for medicine and surgery postings, we don't have tests at the end of the postings. They are called end of posting examinations. So if you are a subscriber, you notice that in May, I didn't really post much because literally every single week in the month of May, we had a test, at least one test. Medical school tests are like exams because the work you have to read, the amount of stuff you have to read is so voluminous. I literally had to put a pause on my YouTube channel, literally just so I could focus on my tests. This is the very first time that I was doing something and it's non-academic. Balancing it was quite challenging. Medicine and surgery postings, they lasted for about 12 weeks. M0 and S0 each lasted for 4 weeks, and then M1 and S1 lasted for 8 weeks, so they each had about 12 weeks. Once we finished our medicine and surgery postings, we went back to kind of the norm we started with. So we went back to just doing part and farm, but this time we were preparing for exams. So by September, we were done with medicine and surgery postings. We literally had just 3 months to the end of 400 levels. So we could have lectures from 9 a.m. sometimes till 6 p.m. I literally remember one of our courses, we had lectures from like past 8 in the morning till 5 p.m. in the evening. We had 7 lectures that very day. I mean, on top of it, we had presentations, still having practicals back to back in pathology and pharmacology. I was still trying to study for my exams in November. That period from September to November was probably the most stressful period in medical school for me. And I feel like I can say this for even my other classmates too. This was the most stressful period literally for everybody because you're trying to acquire new information in class while trying to retain the old information literally from January. So all the stuff you learned from January, you're trying to kind of recall them, trying to fix them in your brain with this new information. It also made filming for YouTube very difficult because, like I said, editing YouTube videos takes a lot of time. At this point, I had to focus on what was priority, which was my exam, which is why I paused posting on YouTube. If it comes down to it, I can literally shut off anything and everything to focus on my academics. This YouTube channel is a big priority to me, but during that period in time, or what was at the top of my priority was passing my exam. September, October, November, we had about 3 power outages in the country. The grid kept shutting down during that period, and it also affected. Obviously, it affected everywhere. It affected our school. Aside the grid shutting down, there was a period in time that there was no lights in Jos for 10 whole days. This affected me and a lot of my cousins because it was very demotivating. Studying during those times was very tough. Eventually, the lights was restored eventually, and well, we were able to kind of continue studying as per usual. For the examination process, I couldn't film my exams because I was kind of very focused on studying and trying to pass my exams. But our exams lasted for 2 weeks. So it started from November 25th to the 5th of December, if I'm not wrong. The first week we had OBJ and theory. The second week we had OSPE and Viva. For those who are not familiar with OSPE refers to picture tests. Kind of put pictures of certain things, so it could be pictures of objects, pictures of specimen. We asked several questions under each picture, and they were kind of fixed in stations. So you have about 1 to 2 minutes per station. They ring the bell, you move to the next station, like that. To the end of the picture test, And Viva is kind of like an interview between you and the lecturer. Each student will go to one lecturer and they'll be asked questions, basically what you've been taught in class. Just we had a certain amount of time per Viva session. For pharmacology, it was kind of the same thing. Like we did a regular picture test, and then immediately after picture test, we had a Viva. And so Viva was 3 minutes per student. So you go into the office, you see the lecturer, and they ask you questions for about 3 minutes. Once the bell rings, you go. For pathology, like I said, you have 4 courses under pathology, and it used to be the same way pharmacology does it. So you go to the office, you meet each of your lecturers. So you go to the office, you meet hematology, then you meet morbid anatomy lecturer, and so on and so forth. But this year, asked me to let's try something new with our set. Instead of meeting each pathology lecturer separately, you are meeting all of them together. So picture this: it's you in an office with 4 lecturers, each of them asking you questions, but each of them had about 2 minutes. For pathology was 8 minutes per student. Overall, my vivas were not bad at all for pathology and pharmacology. Something about medical school exams is like, especially with path and pharm, right? Pharmacology is just one course, so you just have to pass that. But with pathology, it's 4 courses under, such that if you fail one course, you fail all the 4 courses. During preparation for exams, I can say I had moments where I asked myself, should I just give up? I'm not even the kind of person to just like give up or even come to the conclusion of giving up. Like, this pressure is just too much. So exams finished on a Friday. Results came out on Saturday. We started 500 level on Monday. I'm very grateful to God because our results came out the next day. I found out that I passed. So, and I am now a 500 level medical student. Thing I learned is failing a test doesn't make you a failure. Understand that being a medical student and trying to become a doctor, your biggest asset is your brain, and it's what you know that you're going to apply. Test is an assessment of what you know about a particular topic, not assessment of your identity or who you are as a person. It is very, very easy to fall into the trap of defining yourself based on your grades. 400 level was that year kind of broke me. And one of the things that I had to accept within myself is my grades or my scores don't define who I am as a person. Even if you fail a test, it doesn't make you a failure. It is just a test of what you know about something. If you fail a test about something you are supposed to know, what do? You go and learn about it again and you learn better. The second lesson I learned is be intentional about resting. It is very easy to fall into the culture of just grinding and you don't even know when you are burnt out. So if you're not even the kind of person that's like self-aware, you won't even know when you're burnt out. I've had times in 400 level where I was burnt out, and because of that, I lost motivation to do something. I understand that the culture in medical school doesn't necessarily promote rest. Being able to rest and recharge is what will keep you going, because if there is not that avenue for rest, at some point there will be a place where you burn out and you crash and you don't even want to keep going again. Third lesson I learned in 400 level is start the art of self-confidence. Self-confidence is so important because there will be times in medical school, literally going back to the identity thing, where let's say maybe you failed something, maybe you failed a test. Not just messing with your identity, but it could also mess with your self-confidence. But something you have to realize is that if you have come this far, what it takes to continue in medical school. Being confident in what you know, and being confident in the fact that you actually know something, like you are not dumb. That advice I would give is to hold God, be close to God. 100 level is that 1 year that will test and shake you. 100 level is that year that will draw you close to God. If you were not close to God before, you'll be close to God by force, by fire in 400 level. You are going to hit that point where you realize that, I can't do this by myself, and I actually need the help of God. One of the things that kind of helped me navigate my way through all of these challenges was God. Honestly, like being close to God has kind of helped me to go through 400 level. Yes, I had a lot of challenges. Yes, I had moments where I cried, but I learned a lot and I grew. I passed by the help of God. I remember one of my papers, well, the time I did not know what to study because I was like, I have over 90 topics. What do I read? But sometimes, like divine direction, I'll be discussing with someone, and what we were discussing would come out in the exam. Sometimes the stuff I read last minute, that would be what will come out for the exams. Having the help of God in 400 level is very, very important. It's something I want to talk about is asking for help. Don't be afraid to ask for help, especially from your seniors. They've gone through the same level that you're at, so they have more experience and they can also always guide you with advice, guide you with resources. So do not neglect the help of your seniors, okay? So yeah, I think that is all I have to say for this video. Thank you to everybody that has stuck with me during this period, even when I wasn't posting. So thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it. Please do not forget to like and subscribe to my channel and comment down below if you could relate to anything that I said. If you have any advice for anybody in about to go into 400 level, also comment down below. Thank you guys for watching this video and I'll see you in another one. Bye.